Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Rise of Ashara video. So this is a pretty exciting one. We've got 30 mounts to go through and loads of them are really cool. But first, to celebrate what just happened in game, we are adding this extra bit of art to our Patreon this month. It is going to be the exact same size as this guy over here. It will come alongside this and the other physical rewards. So that's a special thing we're doing for this month. So if you're interested in that, hit it up for this month. And with that covered, there's quite a few mounts to go through today. So let's just get right into it. And let's kick off proceedings with the mechanized mounts, and we have so much to get through here, starting off with Wonderwing 2.0, an absolutely gorgeous looking mechanized parrot that comes from Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder Part 2. That is an achievement that I believe will take about 3 weeks to get after this patch launches, and I think it's quite a fantastic mount indeed. Next, we have the Mechanocat. So this is a very interesting one in that you unlock it over in Mechagon. Now, the initial unlock for this guy is not too bad. I believe it costs 140,000 gold for the base materials and then just some Mechagon resources. But what matters a lot more is there's a paint shop nearby, and there is a whole mechanic about painting your Mechanocat, so I assume that is where the visual variation is going to come with this guy. So this right now does not look massively impressive, but it actually is testing a new system with getting to customize the tints of your mounts, and that's something that I think is very cool indeed. And then still very much in the theme of Mechagon, we have the scrap forged Mecha Spider. Yeah, it's a massive robot spider that you get to go around in. It's really cool, and there are actually a few different variations of these from a few different means. Of course, we'll have to see exactly how you end up unlocking it once the patch unlocks, but man, yeah, it's gorgeous. I love all the little detail animations that are going on. A really fantastic looking mount. We then also have a rusty version of it that very much is the same, just with a more rusty texture. And then we have a more gold-colored Mechagon Peacekeeper variant that comes from the Mechagon dungeon. Overall, absolutely gorgeous, a wonderful addition to this patch, and I just really love what they're doing with all of these Mechagon-themed mounts. Then let's move on to the flying stuff. We've got the Rust Bolt Resistor. So this costs about 500,000 gold from Exalted with the Rust Bolt Resistance, the new faction of the Mechagon zone. And yeah, once again, another really cool looking mount. I love the sort of azurite colored sort of plumes that we have here, all of the little cogs going, the sparks. It's just lovely seeing the more modern Blizzard mounts and just how much effort they put into all of the little details that really bring them to life. Of course, if you want a more polished up version of this, then you can get the aerial unit R21/X, which drops from King Mechagon. So that's the final boss of the new Mega Dungeon, which will be, you know what, a fair amount of work. It's 8 bosses in, it's a very big dungeon, and it will not be available on the queues, just like things were for Karazhan. And really, yeah, my thoughts on this are the same. It's gorgeous. I think it's really cool, and I love the mount variety they're going with here. Then next, we've got something rather incredible from the Mechadon achievement. This is the Mecha Cycle Model W. A very cool looking mount. Once again, the attention to detail, all the little gizmos and sparks and cogs and effects. This thing is gorgeous. This is really cool. What a unique mount. I'm very happy to see it indeed. And if you want a version of it that looks a bit less, good for wear, then you can get this version, the Junk Heap Drifter. This drops from Rust Feather in the Mechagon zone, which makes me think that assuming luck is on your side, this probably will be the easier one to get. Oh, and by the way, Mechadon is basically like, Pathfinder for Mechagon, so it's like your big, meta achievement for doing stuff in Mechagon, which likely will take quite a bit of time because that zone really does seem to have, well, a lot of hidden depths to it. Oh, and then finally, I believe this is going to be released. Of course, this is a mount that we data mined all the way back, I believe, in beta, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that in this patch this is getting unlocked. I mean, I know it is because it's here in the mount journal, so yeah, if you're an engineer or a blacksmith, you will be able to get this. Next, let's cover the Nazjatar and Ashara themed stuff, starting off with the Ashari Bloat Ray. This comes from the Glory of the Eternal Raider achievement. Very nice indeed. And yeah, unlike the ones from Argus, this one, I suppose, is destined for the water where it actually belongs. Although that said, it is a regular flying mount. So there we go, we've got that. It's pretty darn cool, and we actually have a few more color variants of this model. Then next up, and very much in the spirit of matte black everything, we have the Silent Glider. A little bit more dastardly looking, looking given those red and black tones, but I think a very nice looking mount indeed. Definitely great for the rogues, and you could probably make a pretty darn nasty looking transmog sort of compilation, you know, with this guy. Then if you want something a bit more regal, you can get the Ankoan Wave Ray. I believe they're the Alliance faction. This mount's actually not marked as being for the Alliance, so I'm not 100% sure on that unlock, but yeah, you know, another variant of that, just with those kind of more heroic looking colors. And then we've got the far more Horde looking Unshackled Wave Ray. Now, of course, the Unshackled are the Horde faction, so like with the Ankoan one, I would expect that this is going to be available for Horde characters only. And yeah, absolutely another gorgeous looking mount. I actually really like that pattern on its back. I think this one's really a pretty standout creature. Then next we have the Snapdragon. So this is the Deep Coral Snapdragon, comes from a quest, and yeah, it certainly is quite the interesting looking aquatic animal. I don't really know how to describe what it looks like. I don't particularly like it that much personally, but again, that is just personal preference. So that's this variant. So that's one variant. We then have the Royal Snapdragon, which just has, you know, nicer armor on it, so that can kind of vary up your color scheme, and certainly that would look quite good if you paired it up with maybe the Zandalari Heritage armor, I suppose. And this is just a zone drop from Nazjatar. And then we do also have the Snapdragon Kelp Stalker from the Gift to Neri quest, and yeah, if you want something that's a bit more green themed, this certainly is the one for you. Of course, that's not where it ends, because we have the Crimson Tide Stallion. Yeah, look at this guy. Big seahorse mount, and I think the nicest seahorse mount model that we've got so far. I really think this is gorgeous, so that's really nice. I love the Crimson variant. There is also the Inkscale Deepseeker, which again just has a placeholder drop, so we don't actually know where this comes from yet. So yeah, if you want something that's a little bit more understated, you can go for that. But if you want something a bit more out there, you've got Fabius, who is white, and yeah, really, really cool looking indeed. This is definitely one that I will want to be getting, though of course we will have to wait and see what its source is. And then, of course, we do have the big sideways boy that was promised to us, the Snapback Scuttler. Right now, it's just a zone drop from Nazjatar. We have been told that this guy will actually walk sideways like a crab. It's a very cool model indeed. Pretty unique mount, I suppose. And yeah, it's really damn cool. Really, as are all the mounts in this patch so far. I'm really quite happy with what we're seeing here. That's not all. We do have new mounts being added for Exalted Reputation with the various factions of the launch version of Battle for Azeroth. Of course, those factions all had ground mounts on launch because flying was not unlocked. Well, we now have three new Terror Wings for the Horde, and then we have 3 new Griffins for the Alliance. I really like the Alliance Griffins, especially that Kultiran Sea Scout. I think that one's really, really lovely looking indeed, so that's definitely very nice to see. However, there is one additional little bonus for the Horde, and that is the Child of Torkali, which is a quest drop from Zuldazar. So yeah, there you go. If you want a big Direhorn, I believe, yeah, Direhorn's what they're called. Yeah, you can get one of those, so that's pretty cool. And then finally, there is the B mount. It has not cropped up yet, but we know the B mount is going to be in this patch, and all speculation points that it is towards it being a mount that we get basically as like a baby or a drone, and we kind of advance it up to being a queen through, you know, a sort of a process over time. And that really is a type of mount that I think is a very good thing to have in the game. I've liked the ones that they've done in the past, so that's definitely quite nice to see. Okay, so there you go. That is so far what we know about the new mounts of this patch. Who knows? They might add more, or, you know, whatever. And yeah, overall, I've got to say, I'm very happy. Now, it is true, there's quite a few recolors in of, you know, the sort of things, right? But, I mean, I think the actual core mounts themselves are really nice. And I think that's very important. Like, if you just look at the amount of attention to detail, especially with the gnomish stuff, you know, we've got all the spinning cogs and bolts and electricity and stuff flying about the place. I think that generally they're really, really good quality mounts. Of course, there's the bee coming as well. It seems like that actually has a fair bit of its own gameplay, and I'm actually very interested in what they are doing with the cosmetic side of the cat mount and its tints. I think that's really cool as well. So there could be more stuff to come here. This is only the first build. Traditionally, more things have made it in as the builds have went on, but so far, I've got to say, this is a pretty damn strong start in terms of the new mounts of this patch. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which ones you preferred the most down below. And with that, I'll see you next time.